Good evening and welcome back to another episode of The Longing, where today we are making our way back out of the halls of eternity for a brief jaunt around the caves before coming back in a little bit. Yeah. But one thing different today is that I actually have something to talk about. It's nothing major or anything like that, but it's still something. So what that is it turns out... Okay, so let me get some context. Well, there isn't really any context. Basically, I can make a rumbling sound with my ears, like that I can hear. Turns out, not everyone can do that. I just assumed that everyone could make a rumbling noise with their ears. It's something to do with the tensor tympani, I think, or tensor tympani, or however you pronounce it. Something to do with contracting the muscle of the inner ear that would normally be used for stopping yawning and other eating, chewing sounds from deafening you. Apparently it's very good at that, which actually might go some way to explaining why I dislike bass sounds so much, because mine probably doesn't work quite right. Wow, okay, that would make more sense, actually. I never even considered that. But on top of that, I was reading an article about it and saying how not everyone can do it. It's not a small amount of the population, I don't think, that can do it. There's like a reasonable number. It's not rare or anything. It's just I didn't realise it was not everyone can do it. So it was just surprising more than anything. Yeah. Which is pretty cool. But following on from that, the article then mentioned that what is it? There are if you found it weird that some people can make that rumbling noise, which I can make. There are people that can equalize the pressure between the atmosphere and their inner ear on command. And upon reading into it a little bit, that is something to do with the Eustachian tube, which it turns out I can also do. And I just assumed everyone can do. And now it makes way more sense when I've said to people to just sort of open the tube to the ear to get to sort of pop the ears, and they've just looked at me funny. It makes so much more sense. I thought they knew what I was on about, but just yeah. Turns out, no, not everyone can do it. Yeah, really weird. I genuinely just assumed everyone could do it. So if you can do either of those, let me know, because that would be very interesting to know. Yeah. Very, very surprised to find out that it's not an everyone kind of deal. Because it just seemed... I've always been able to do both of those things. So I've just assumed that everyone can. Which is really bizarre. And I will have to ask all of my friends again to see whether they can or can't do both of those things, because I'm now very curious. and it just seems like my life has been a lie all this time, assuming that everyone can do that. Because that's absolutely bizarre, if I'm honest. Really is. Just boggled me a little bit, the fact that not everyone can do it. But there you go, mysteries of the body, eh? Mysteries of the body. We're all a little bit different in one way or another. And there's no way of telling just how different we are from each other, just by looking. Because it could be something as minor as that, or something. Oh, yeah, there are obvious things that make us visibly different, but there's things like that some people just assume everyone can do, or no one can do, or anything like that, what have you, that just, when you do find out about them, throw you for a loop a little bit. Because it's just such a natural thing for me. Being able to equalize, well, to pop my ears, so to speak, just at a whim. It's so normal for me that I just assumed everyone does it, because I do it like multiple times an hour, or just at will, just by habit at this point, even just trying to get better audio for myself in the world. I wonder if there's a correlation between being able to do the rumbling noise and being able to do the ear popping. Like, can everyone that can do the ear popping, can they make the ear rumbling, or vice versa? Or is it a minority that can do both, and the majority of people can do one or the other, of the people that can do either? And what other oddities are there that some people assume is everyone, that not everyone can do, that I can't do? For example, with ears stuff. I mean, I can wiggle my ears, but that's a completely different thing. Actually, it could be related in some way. But yeah, random topic of conversation. Literally just was reading about it before doing this episode, so it's now on my mind. And I will be sure to be asking the question to people to find out who can and can't do it. More out of a curiosity than anything. To sort of help me understand just the level. But yeah, the more you learn, eh? The more you learn. The more you learn, indeed. Yeah. Anyway, that has actually made the time fly by for me. It really has. So we are at the end of the episode as well, meaning that I am going to get past this column But I'm going to say thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you all have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon or night. No matter what time of day it is, I hope you all have a wonderful one of it. And as always, we will be back tomorrow for more of The Longing. Goodbye.